Raider Nation, what's the deal, man? Once again, it's your guy Panama Fargo back to y'all live with another episode of the Raider Rundown. And today, man, you know what we got to do. We got to go over the keys to victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. What do they need to do to come away with the win against the Chicago Bears? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this intro started and let's get the show cracking.
As a young guy, I had a dream that someday I would build the finest organization in professional sports.
What's the deal, man? Once again, it's another episode of the Raider Rundown, and we're going to go over the keys to victory and what the Las Vegas Raiders need to do in order to come away with the win against Chicago. Now, it's no secret, right? We wanted to see who the starter was at quarterback, right, to really determine our excitement for the game. And I know I usually do this video on Fridays, but I wanted to wait until today, and I wanted to wait to hear who the starter at quarterback was. So, I mean, now that we know and it's Brian Hoyer, we can now move forward. But do we have our skepticism? Yes, we do. I certainly do. But once again, you know, if Brian Hoyer comes out here and he balls, I have no problem coming out here and saying I was wrong. I don't care. I just want the Raiders to win. I don't care what it looked like. And if he comes out here and he makes the offense hum, then at the end of the day, hey, I'll give my props to him and then we can keep it pushing. But I want to start on the defense, right? What are the defense's first keys? What do they need to do in order to come away with the win, right? They've been playing very, very well up until this week, and we need to continue the trend. So first key, right? They have a lot of O-line injuries. All right, they have their tackle out that they drafted this year. Okay, Darnell Wright, he's out. And then you have your starting guard, Nate Davis, he's out. And I believe there's one more other guard for them that's out. If you're looking at that, now you're going with second, third stringers, also with an undrafted rookie quarterback, right? That's not a recipe for success. So what the Raiders need to do is cause disruption. First key to victory, take advantage of the banged up O-line and a rookie quarterback, right? You have to take advantage of their inexperience and their depth problems right now. Okay, that's the first key because we are rushing very, very well right now. Our interior linemen, and this is going to really be on them, our interior linemen have upped and amped their play over the past 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, we see our guys like John Jacobs, Adam Butler, even Bilal Nichols, and that's a guy to watch too, right? These are guys that are starting to up their play, and now with the up and play, we see more pressure. So first key, man, we got to take advantage of their O-line deficiencies right there, man. We have to. That's the first key. Second key, okay, got to stop the run game. I've already mentioned they have a rookie undrafted quarterback starting. So if that's the case, okay, there, you know what they got to do. And every time you know you're playing a rookie and a team knows that they have a rookie back there, what's the first thing they're going to do? Run the ball. Okay, that's the first thing any offensive coordinator is going to do to protect their quarterback, especially a young one. Got to run the ball. And although the Bears aren't as strong as a team, right, their offense really runs through the run game right now. Okay, they're very strong in the run game, and that's something we still have to account for. All right, now they still have injuries there at running back. Their starter is out there. I believe their second string is out. I think they're on a third or fourth string running back. So if that's the case, you know, it's Deontay Foreman, and I believe they signed him 2 weeks prior. So if that's the case there, you know, this is a guy coming in who has fresh legs, you know, and they're going to use him, and they're going to make sure that he eats so they can get a play action game going and they can get the ball out of Bajan's hands, you know. So second key to victory for the defense, you got to stop the run game, bro. Immediately, you got to stop the run game. Number 3, this kind of plays into that, right? If we do stop the run game, I anticipate they go to another form of trying to get the ball out quick and try and at least some resemblance of a run game. And that is you have to stop the short to intermediate passes by DJ Moore, by Bajan, right? Because they're going to want to get the ball out of his hands. In order to do that, they're going to start throwing them passes behind the line of scrimmage. Some of them screen passes we've seen DJ Moore grab and take 60-plus yards to the house. These are things we have to account for as a defense, all right? So you have to be ready for them to want to get the ball out of Bajan's hands, and in order to do that very, very quickly, you do a lot of passes behind the line of scrimmage, man. A lot of them screen passes, a lot of them wide receiver dumps, maybe a running back goes out of the backfield and he throws a little out to him. Something like that. But we have to be ready for the passes behind the line of scrimmage. So third key to victory, man. Be ready for the passes behind the line of scrimmage. Be ready to stop those. And this leads into our fourth key, right? Tackling. That is going to be the crux of it all. You have to tackle well. Now, the Charger game has been the only game that I've seen where we have not tackled very well. But, all right, still, this is one of those games where you cannot allow the Chicago Bears to get a lot of yak yardage, okay? DJ Moore will get a lot of yak yardage. They got a lot of guys that if you give them the ball in space, they'll be able to take it to the crib. So we need to stamp down on that. Realistically, DJ Moore is the one I'm really worried about, but they have Mooney. They have other pieces that we do have to account for, but Moore is the guy, and you're going to have to tackle. And Deonta Foreman is a pretty big back. You're going to have to tackle this game. Don't allow somebody to break tackles, get an extra 5, extra 10 yards off a missed tackle, missed assignment, right? That's the shit that drives us crazy, and that's the shit that keeps teams in games when we really should be whooping their ass, right? You're allowing teams to stay and hang around in games because they're breaking tackles, they're getting extra yards, extra free yards, and they're just driving down the field to get at least 3 points. So this is something we got to stamp down. When you get the opportunity to make the tackle, you got to make the tackle. That's the fourth key. All right. And fifth key, we say it every week, but it's always prevalent. You must get pressure on the quarterback. No ifs, ands, or buts, bro. We played Justin Herbert, look good against him. You played Jordan Love, look good against him. You played Mac Jones, look good against him. There should be no reason why the trend does not continue this week. Okay. The trend must continue this week. And this defensive line, once again, has to be the catalyst of the defense, right? And damn near catalyst of a win. All right, this defensive line has to play out of their minds. And I expect Max to come out here and give 110% like he always does. But now we need everybody else to continue their ascension, right? Guys like I mentioned, Adam Butler, John Jenkins, Bilal Nichols, look for him. He was an ex-Chicago Bear, so he might come in here and want to have some type of redemption game. Who knows, okay? And then you look at Malcolm Kuntz. He's been pretty quiet. All right, I need more pressure from him this game. Malcolm Kuntz has been a little quiet. Tyree Wilson must continue to ramp up his work. All right, so these are guys that we're really looking towards to be able to help Max and then lead us to another win, or at least lead the defense to play very well. So keys to victory on defense, once again, number one, all right, we have to take advantage of their O-line deficiencies, okay? They have a lot of deficiencies. We have to take advantage of their depth issues. Okay, number two, you got to stop the run game. They have a rookie quarterback back there. They're going to try to protect him. So running the ball is one way to do that. But if we're able to stop the run, key number three, then you have to stop those passes behind the line of scrimmage, passes that are short to intermediate, because they have a lot of guys that can get yak yardage, things that we're going to have to stamp down. And with that yak yardage, in order to do that, you got to, be able to tackle, okay? Be secure in your tackling. We cannot allow people to get 5 to 10 extra free yards by missing tackle. These are things that keep teams in games, and you must be able to tackle. And for the fifth key to victory, right? Always, defensive line must cause havoc, must cause disruption, especially because you have a rookie back there. You're going to need to make him see ghosts. And that's the plan for the Raiders defense if it was up to me. Now, we transition to the offense. All right, now that we know that Brian Hoyer is the starter. But with Brian Hoyer seems to come a little section of Raider Nation who is optimistic. Now, me, I'm not part of that crowd. I don't have a lot of confidence that Brian Hoyer can do something for 4 quarters. But like I said, if he comes out here, he leads the offense over 20 points, we look crisp, I have no complaints. It is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? As long as the Raiders get themselves a win. So with Brian Hoyer, right, these are the keys to victory for the Raiders offense. Number one, you got to go deep, okay? Take the deep shots. Don't just give us that little taste last week and now this week you play status quo. You're coming in here, right, and you cannot play like how Jimmy played, okay? You can't be timid. You can't not want to push the ball downfield. We're going to have to push the ball downfield. And that's what it is, man, and in order to be successful. But when we do that and finally start pushing the ball downfield, then the second key comes into question. And that is, right, we must sit here and run the ball with Josh Jacobs. Once the box opens up, okay, with the deep passing, all right, once Brian Hoyer is able to pass the ball downfield, and back them safeties up, back people up out of the box. Because right now, I know what you're saying. I know what some of y'all are saying. It's the O-line. It's the O-line. But look here, man. Everybody is putting 8 to 9 people in the box against us. So if that portion right there, we are going to have to sit here and have our own type of, must be able to back up the safeties. Okay, you got to back up the safeties. You got to back people up out of the box. There's 8 to 9 people in the box that outnumbers our O linemen. And even if we keep a running back in on pass situations, that's still only 6 people to 8 or 9. Okay, so at that point, we need to back them up with the deep passing. And that second key comes into effect when we can run the ball. We saw it last week. All right, it opened up and we saw Josh Jacobs in open space, and we know what he does in open space. But once we do that, okay, third key to victory. I know Devontae said what he said, and I was thinking that can be a key. And I think, honestly, I'm going to have to put it at honorable mention because I say spread the wealth, man. Continue to spread the wealth. Do not give us, like I said, don't give us a taste of Michael Mayer last week, and now we see what he can do with the ball in his hands, or take Trey Tucker last week, and now we see what he can do when we need to stretch the field. And then right from there, you tell us like, oh, okay, well, that's it. You know, like, no, bro, keep them involved. Keep Michael Mayer involved. Keep Trey Tucker involved. Austin Hooper, give him the ball. I know DeAndre Carter dropped the pass, but give him something. Okay, like these are guys we want to see with more, you know, with the ball more. Okay, now we know Jacoby at this point is going to eat. Jacoby's going to get his catches. Devontae, he didn't voice his frustration, so he's going to get his catches. I think those are things that we understand, but I honestly still want to see everybody else in this offense. I want to see the ball spread around. I want to see the ball move in different hands. All right, so the third key to victory, spread the wealth, man. Let everybody get a taste. Let everybody get a touch. And then from there, you know, we're going to see our offense really thrive. But then once we do that, because that when we're from 20 to 20, we're excellent. And we move the ball and we spread the wealth. But fourth key to victory comes into effect. And that's it. You have to clean up your red zone woes, man. You cannot sit here and go 1 for 6 in the red zone again. It's just not, it's not conducive to winning football. Okay. Like I said last week, if you at least go 3 for 6 in the red zone against the game versus the Patriots, it's a different game. All right. And these are things that, once again, allow teams to hang with us because we're not converting points. That's 4-point swing we leaving on the board once again. So Josh McDaniels, Brian Hoyer, whoever got to get together to understand what they need to do in the red zone. All right. That's what they need to do. And I believe, you know, if Devontae was more featured in the red zone, this is where I say he needs to be more featured inside of the 20 in the red zones. And from there, we might get better opportunities to actually score. He's the best weapon, the best available option there. So from there, I really do agree with him. In the red zone, we have to go to him at least a couple of times, you know, but from there, I do believe that that is something that we really need to stamp down and get the red zone right. And the fifth key to victory, right? Just win. I mean, just win, bro. I mean, as the offense, bro, score over 20 points. That's the fifth key. You score over 20 points, bro, and you control clock, then at that point, you know, we're going to win this game. You know, and I know it sounds simple, and you're like, oh, well, how the, but just score over 20 points. That's all we're asking. If you score over 20 points, I think that this is a very convincing win because I believe in the defense's ability to hold them under 17. I believe in their ability to do that. And us to score over 20 points, we're going to have to do that as an offense, and we're going to have to help the defense out. Okay, so keys to victory for the offense. Number one, Brian Hoyer got to go deep. All right, he's got to take the deep shots, and he's got to open up the offense to back the safeties up. Once we do that, the second key comes into effect, and that is we got to run the ball. All right, once you back the safeties up and everybody's out of the box, there's not 8, 9 people in the box. We can then allow Josh Jacobs to pick and choose his holes because we ran a lot of zone towards the end of that game. Last game, he looked very good. So allow him to pick and choose his holes. See some green grass, let him break some tackles in the open field, let him get busy. After that, man, spread the wealth, man. Spread the wealth. That's the third key. Let everybody get a touch because we saw how deadly everybody can be with the ball in their hands. We saw Michael Mayer finally. We saw Trey Tucker. Other guys get involved, and we see how the offense moves from 20 to 20. But once you spread the wealth and you get inside that 20, it's time to fix the red zone woes, bro. That is when we can finally start scoring as an offense and putting these teams away that we should be putting away, right? And then from there, once we go against better competition, and then we sit there and say, all right, we can finally hang with other people. But for this week, okay, this week, this is how you put a team away when you fix the red zone woes. Fifth and final key, man, score over 20 points. You score over 20 points, that's a goal, bro. You score over 20 points, I believe in the defense's ability to hold them under 17. And if we can do the over 20-point cap, we might look good in this game. So those are the keys to victory for the Las Vegas Raiders on the defensive, on the offensive side of the ball. Did I miss anything? Y'all let me know down below in the comments, man. I think I'm going to keep doing the day before the game for the keys to victory. I think I like it a little better. Y'all let me know about that scheduling thing too. But remember, make sure you guys are hitting the like, hitting the subscribe button, hit on the little notification bell so you get updated when I drop things like this right here. And remember, you know I'm going to do my post-game reaction at the end of the Bears-Raiders game tomorrow, right? So make sure you guys pull up to my live tomorrow after the game. We'll be able to talk, react, do whatever, man, whatever, regardless of the outcome of the Raiders. So hopefully they come out with a win, man, for all our sakes. And you know I keep it authentic for the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown.
I need a bad bitch with an accent, serving in peace, still taxing. Just got tapped for the young cash app, moonwalking like a young Mike Jackson. Yeah, shots to the head, ride clean and still fuck feds. Realest nigga and it's on my kids, so who the fuck gon' wanna test me, bitch?